I bring the City of Yamhill City Council meeting to order on Wednesday, November 20th, 2024 at 6:41 p.m. May I get a roll call, please?
Esty here. Morgan here.
Potter here, Johnson here, Ken here, and we are also available virtually and in person for the record. Please stand for the pledge, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
My app's not working, so there's no time. I'll have a timer over here.
All right, I'm going to open up the floor for public comments. This is a time for the community citizens to come and state any city business. This is a dialogue platform. This is not a dialogue platform. This is an opportunity for you to speak to the council, and you have up to 3 minutes to share your thoughts and concerns and let us know what's important to you. Is there anybody in the room for public comment? Is there anybody online for public comment? If so, unmute yourself or raise your hand.
No hands are raised.
Seeing no hands raised online or in person, we will close public comment at this time. Is there any agenda updates or additions to the city administrator or city recorder?
There is just the minutes were completed and I sent those out to the council individually. And so we can add that to the consent agenda.
You are going to put statement and minutes. And the minutes were October, right?
Yes.
All right. Does anybody have any questions or discussions or concerns with any of the consent agenda items? Which includes the financial statement, the current date, and the monthly minutes for the October city council meeting. Members of the council, may I get a motion, please, for approval of the consent agenda?
I move to approve the consent agenda, financial statements to current and October minutes as is.
A vote, please. Thank you. And now a vote, please.
Yeah. Morgan,
Potter, aye. Goodman, aye. Kim, aye. And we'll move from city presentations down to committee reports. 7, Planning Commission, Mr. Ken Moore.
So our agenda is pretty simple. Likely we have the gas station is gonna ask for a variance approval on their sign, and then the last minute it's a effort of that. We went through the lighting proposal and reworked it to address all the concerns that it's got from the council. And we feel like we've done that. I guess you don't see that. You won't see that tonight. That's so yeah, we just met Monday. And this is off Wednesday, right? Okay, yeah. And then good old Title 10, Title 11, because of the housing grant and the administration with the technical assistance grant, there's going to be some changes suggested by that as a result of that work in ordinances that will go into Title 10. And so, well, if we're putting new ordinances in Title 10 at the same time combining 10 and 11, which is going to be too much to keep track of. So we're going to focus on Title 11, land use. And these and let these other ordinances come and settle for I don't know, period of a year or more. And then look down the road together. So it's desirable to have them put together, but you can see the timeline is not it's, probably to move ahead on to do. And that's all I have. If you have questions about the lighting, or maybe you want to wait and leave it, we can do it. We did talk about it next time.
If we're not making any decisions on it tonight, then.
Yeah.
We can wait.
Yeah. Anything else?
Thank you very much. Water Advisory Committee, Kathy Phillips, is she available online?
You actually asked me to reflect it in the, so if I don't know. This is kind of the one where the water advisory committee is, unfinished.
So we'll address it then. And Economic Development Committee, Jenny Morrison, is she available online?
It's not available tonight, and I can address that briefly. I had an economic development meeting earlier this month. It was productive, and basically they're recapping sort of what has been previously and revisiting goals and moving ahead what the committee wants to work on. And one thing that was accomplished at the last meeting was establishing a mission statement for the committee. And that was voted on and passed, and it is to bring economic vitality to Yamhill's Central Business District and create a thriving community in which to live, work, and play. And they will, maybe in next month, we'll be continuing to work on goals for the community, and how they want to be part of that.
Great. Thank you. And then unfinished business,
So the water supply, the water advisory committee last meeting came up with sort of the top 4 priorities that they thought would be wise to recommend to council, and just to inform council that this is the order of priority in their mind of the committee, that the priority should be first attempting to increase the water supply to Yamhill. Number 1 would be to add the pipe from the impound to the plant to ensure that 100% capturability of water would be priority 1. Priority 2 is looking at a potential tie-in with Mendel, and discussions are back on the table. We have a meeting next Monday, November 25th, with Jason, myself, and Kathy with Mendel Water and Light to just discuss options, because I think at our water tour and other meetings, Representative Belmont was very strong in suggesting that we would revisit that with them, because they may be more willing to work with us than previously thought. So we're having that conversation. There were some other reasons why Mendel was more water supply longer term.
I don't think we ever looked into that.
Oh.
I think one of the driving factors was the possibility of your building instead of getting private funding.
And so then third priority, we're kind of second and third are kind of tied, because we're talking in Hillsborough and Mendel to see which one's the better option. Planning to Hillsborough, planning in Mendel, and then a fourth option could potentially be the Barney Reservoir and using that as a backup emergency. So basically the concept is just having, as opposed to like, this is the route we're gonna go, and we're not gonna look at anything else, but why not look at all of them and have multiple options for Yamhill in the case of drought, emergency, pretension, whatever happens. You know, not be in a position where we only have one source of water and we can't really. So those are the 4 priorities in order for the water advisory right now.
I do actually. You brought up the dredging thing, which reminded me about our visitation with the elected officials at the income. And one of them talked about dredging and other options. Is there really other options available to us to dredge, but still be able to provide water to the city?
No.
That-
And I say that pretty bluntly, just in the aspect that if we were to dredge during the in-water work window, our plant couldn't really handle the sediment draw that would be coming down Turner Creek. Our filters, there again, we'd have to really look into it with, certain aspects, but I don't believe our filters can maintain the sediment that would be coming in down that creek. It would probably be blowing out, our water quality would drop immensely.
Okay. That sounds good, thank you.
How would, if you were to dredge, is that like a huge, probably you could do one, so
It would be months. We have an in-water work window that lasts upwards, probably about 3 months. We take all
Yeah.
that 3 months.
Okay.
There's a lot of factors that go along with that, not to prolong this conversation, but once we dredge it, it'd be offloading the material, so that cost and where to apply it. We can't build up our banks. That's already been shut down by water resources, so there again, dealing with the sediment that would be coming from the dredging. But I fully believe that, in our visits with AKS, putting that on the CIP would be a high priority, probably second priority on the CIP after the resident.
Thank you, Casey.
Yeah, well,
IT update?
So, since our last meeting, I've talked to 3 vendors for potential, IT services. And still leaning towards, one in particular that I just think might be the best fit. However, we're in the, right now where we are is trying to figure out how to end services with our current provider and start without losing any, coverage and protection. And ensuring that the two can work together and one will allow us to offload while the other one onloads us. And the one who, would be willing to take this on, any of them really, just want to ensure that what the previous company is willing to work with them, because you can't really do it otherwise. So we're just trying to navigate that piece right now. And hoping to have something at the beginning of the, we were hoping to do it sooner, but many pieces about the human place.
Does the current IT company have an idea that this is coming? Or,
Well, I had a conversation about an hour-long phone call with our sales person there, and we walked through the statement of work, line by line, so that I could understand exactly what we're being charged for. Understand exactly, their technical lingo, as much as I can understand what exactly that does. And the conversation was had that we just might not be the best fit. I mean, on both sides, they were sort of acknowledging, if we need to, look at things down the road, we understand. I think they're hoping to maintain a customer, but we're not their ideal customer either. So I think they would be willing to work with us. I just need to have that conversation with them and ensure they're willing to have the conversations that they also manage subscriptions for us that our new provider would require we own and manage before they would take us on. So we would have to get those in our ownership.
and those are subscriptions through county that we're accessing?
No, they're like our max subscriptions.
Okay.
They're essentially managing for us. We need to have them back in our ownership. We manage them, we pay them. Rather than third party. So there's some steps that need to happen before they're willing to take us on. And
Okay. I can see why they would want that.
yeah, there's just lots of,
Make it happen.
yeah.
Exactly. Thank you for that.
Mhm.
That's a lot. I know that's a difficult situation
Mhm.
and with lots of underpinnings. CAC updates, DLCD grants.
So I think, latest on that is a few of the 3 meetings, the citizen advisory committee meetings. At the last one, we walked through the, latest updates to the code for housing and downtown development recommendations. but we were not, the length of the meeting didn't allow us to get through the comprehensive plan. So we've added a fourth meeting. So our third meeting will cover the comprehensive plan, the fourth meeting will be sort of our summary meeting. So those two meetings will happen after the first of the year. Our public meeting for citizens to come and hear recommendations to date is tomorrow night, 6 o'clock to 8 o'clock here in this room. And other than that, we have a November 30th deadline. I have a deadline to submit lots of paperwork to DLCE in order for us to receive our reimbursement. So I'll be working on that the last week of basically Thanksgiving week, the week of November to get that all done so that we're ensured that we get our reimbursement. And other than that, we're on track, on schedule, on budget. And
Okay, cool. And I'll be there on Friday, is Thursday, thank you, tomorrow night. Yes, tomorrow night, I'll be there. Is all council going to be there?
I hope so. We invited city council, planning commission, and every citizen, or excuse me, every city committee. We promoted it at Trunk or Treat, all the flyers are handed out, and promoted on the website, on Facebook, on the community page. And so we've been promoting it, so we're hoping to have a packed house tomorrow night. It'll be town hall style, no tables, chairs, and they'll be presenting a PowerPoint and then opening it up for Q&A. Perfect. Perfect.
Good, thank you. It's a lot of work making. And FEMA floodplain requirements update. You guys walk on?
We got an extra participant.
I'll do my best to only don't.
We do not have him. Walt is not on.
Huh? No.
No, he's not.
So. Is everybody aware of the FEMA floodplain issue or? Brand?
Yes.
Everyone's aware. Okay. So basically, a lawsuit that FEMA was a part of, created a mandate that local jurisdictions choose an option. I'm not very good about this at all. Basically, they are requiring local jurisdictions to meet their requirements for floodplain insurance program for their Endangered Species Act compliance. And the bottom line for the city of Yamaha is that we need to make a choice by December 1st to either prohibit all new floodplain development, assess all development requests on a case-by-case basis, or adopt their model ordinance. I believe what Walt has recommended for the city of Yamaha is was for council to choose the option, and then we've got to notify FEMA by December 1st. I believe he's recommending a case-by-case basis for now, because that kind of. And so basically we select that option by December 1st, we notify FEMA by December 1st. And then also in the meantime, we add a disclaimer to our land use permits, basically saying that any work by issuing this permit to you, you take the responsibility to ensure that the payment requirements, not the city's liability. Just to cover the city. And then July 30th, 2025 is when our code will need to be updated with whatever option the city chooses. And
That, from what I understand of that too, is that FEMA isn't completely up to date on what their code will be.
Right.
So that's why it's best to go to take it case by case and wait for July, because it's going to change and evolve for them. And so if you adopt what they're saying today, you may have to change and change and change.
so every city is going with it, and it's kind of, ideal, but I think the recommendations from our attorneys and from probably left out. I'll see it.
So the city planner is recommending the case by case. Is there any discussion on this or questions from any council members? Then we just see about it. Can I get a motion then, please, for a decision on how we should address? Or how we should provide the case, safety.
Right, so yeah, this is one of those tricky ones. So we would be making a motion to so we're directing staff to inform FEMA that we would be handling the floodplain requirements on a case by case basis.
Do we need a resolution for
Something
that?
along those lines.
Don't we need a resolution to adopt it?
We may. Can we tentatively approve with a resolution to come later?
Does council have to approve it, or can we let FEMA know
We
what?
can direct staff without a resolution.
On this one, that would be very appropriate to do.
So can I make a motion to direct staff to inform FEMA we will be handling the floodplain requirements on a case to case basis?
May I get a vote, please?
SCI.
Or deny?
Potter, aye. Benson, aye. Kenneth, aye. Maxine, all right. New business, the city administrator review. Council met in executive session together and created a review of the city administrator for the last 6 months evaluation. And the council then met with the city administrator and shared their assessment of performance. And the city council determined that the city administrator has exceeded the expectations for the last 6 months in her performance review and warrants, according to her contract agreement, a 5% increase in salary beginning December 1st. Any questions on that? Can I get a motion to approve that?
I make a motion to approve the city administrator's review, 6 month review.
With salary and 5% salary.
With 5% salary increase.
Just one second. Any discussion?
Nope.
Can I get a vote, please?
Yeah.
Or deny?
Potter, aye. Jennifer, aye. And aye. Thank you.
Can I get you to repeat the motion, please? I'm sorry.
I'm
so sorry.
Motion to approve the city administrator's 6 month review with 5% salary increase.
Okay.
Effective December 1st.
Good job.
Okay, and the second was? Mercy? Okay.
Resolution R 830, transfer of police vehicle reserve fund. And move that about.
This is the resolution that would, amend budget to, change it instead of transferring 13,000, to the police officer reserve fund, movement to the general fund, with personnel services bureau. For the, for the reading.
Okay. The cost of, for attorney fees.
And the resolution in your packet that shows the breakdown of the transfer and the budget on the back side of the resolution.
The resolution. Oh, the breakdown.
Instead of moving it from general to the police vehicle, it's going to be moved to payroll. And
Is there any questions from the council on that? And what is left in the reserve fund? Do you know?
I think it's 13,
Keep saying zero.
Zero?
And so, well, yeah.
So there will be no reserve fund. Okay. Any questions from council? A motion, please.
I move to approve resolution R 830, transfer of fleet vehicle reserve funds. General funds.
Jennifer, second. A vote?
That's key, I.
Corrigan, aye.
Potter, aye. Jennifer, aye. And aye. Thank you. Review applications for planning commission positions beginning January 2025. How many positions are we planning for? How many are open?
There are two, that would be opening. And we've received two applications from the same planning commissioners that currently hold the position.
Okay. So the first one, the Scrivener, hold the position on commission?
Yes.
Chair
Vice Chair.
or vice chair, yeah.
Excellent. So they're experienced, they're knowledgeable. They're breathing, like that. So we need to vote for two. Do you want to vote for them independently or just do across the board? Council members. Is there any discussion on either of these candidates not being approved? For either of these, for either of the open positions? None? So we can assume then that there's no reason not to allow this to happen?
Yeah.
Okay, so can I, if there's no discussion, can I get a motion then, so that we can incorporate both candidates for both positions that are open? Shane, that's your job. It's an option. You work with me.
It's my job. It's gonna be yours next month, just so you know. I make a motion to approve the applications, for city council's, subcommittee, planning commission. For Ken Moore and Sean. Johnson.
Freilinger.
Ask you second.
You must go, Sarah.
Oh, so. To fill the vacant positions on the planning commission. Effective 2025.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
So we need to start that all over again. How about if I make a motion to approve the applications for planning commission for Sean Freelinger and Ken Moore to fill the vacant position starting January 2025.
Ask you second.
A vote, please.
Ask you, I.
Oregon.
Otter, aye. Jennifer, aye. Canada, aye. That was tough. And thank you, Mr. Moore, for being willing to serve again. I know it's a lot of work.
Great experience.
Well, you are a wonderful volunteer. Thank you. I did too. I know. Are we, all right, part of the report, city administrator report, please.
Give me a minute. I forgot how to do this. Just kidding.
Before, events from October, a little bit ago, since we're a week later. Chief Graven attended the Crisis Command Leadership Training for Civil Unrest. He attended TASER training and an opioids pain addiction and recovery summit. He assisted a fatal multi-vehicle collision on Highway 47 in Orchard, and then conducted case review on a mass fatality incident. Corporal Van Cleve attended trauma-informed care training, assisted with Yamhill fire call, handled a restraining order violation, attended Law Enforcement Executive Leadership Institute conference, and participated in domestic violence warrant sweep. That was countywide, is that right?
Yeah.
Officer Miller attended firearms training, assisted a crash at 240 in Stone Road, rescued a woman trapped in a home fire and moved her to safety, and I hear she's doing okay. He attended advanced law enforcement rapid response and continued doing work on the department's accreditation. School resource officer Livingston noted improvements at the high school after a bit of a rocky start to the school year, probably thanks to his presence, I'm sure. Worked to develop a safety plan for threats at County High School. Attended active shooter training and is collaborating with Grand Ronde Fire and Polk County Sheriff on joint fire and police department trainings. And I meant the improvements were due to him and not the rocky start. And then these are the police statistics. They had 220 calls, about 11 case reports, 5 arrests, 29 court citations, 98 warnings, 3 circuit court citations, 51 calls for service from citizens, and 132 officer initiated contacts. And then the hours worked by each of the officers and miles driven for their various trainings and activities. In Public Works at the water treatment plant, the water curtailment has been suspended. I think everybody knows that by now.
Thank you.
They're monitoring water inventory and flows into the intake system. The intake is but 400 gallons per minute, and the average distribution is 130 gallons per minute. When I did this report, is that still accurate? Fairly low.
It's actually dropped, but
Lower than
not significant.
130.
Yeah, around 115.
They're using less.
Yep.
Wow. They fixed the said basin and tested all the relays, adjusted chemicals, and conducted mock tests on all the backup systems to prepare for the winter storms that may be coming. For water distribution, they are preparing for West 3rd and Olive Street project. Bid selection happened November 12th, and hoping construction will begin early December. They conducted valve orientation on the east side of town to train public works staff on how to detect leaks quickly. They flushed the hydrant on Highway 47. And wastewater, they're continuing to just regularly read the lagoon heights. They collected data from PLC and MCC panels, and they prepared in October for the discharge to the river, which is now through April. They continued to monitor infiltration and influent, and the crew digested and vectored manholes, which is the picture that you see. That's what they're working on. For streets, they're clearing the brush throughout town, fixing potholes, and they completed the sidewalk on Highway 47. So that's the picture of the completed sidewalk. And I've heard lots of very complimentary feedback.
Lots of positive feedback on that sidewalk.
Nice.
Parks right now, this time of year, is just pretty much ongoing leaf removal. Inside City Hall, they've been busy. The finance clerk is preparing for the annual audit. Court clerk attended the OACA conference, which is a clerk's audit or clerk's conference. City recorder attended the Oregon Government Ethics Commission public meetings training, which is what I also sent to everyone, which is required training for all public officials. And there's various trainings provided by OGEC, but the city of Carlton's also putting one together December 12th for everyone to attend locally. And it should cover the requirement for that. So I sent you all that information, but And anyone's welcome. Citizens are welcome. Everybody's welcome to go to those because it's, all the committee, members, planning commission, everybody, to go to those because it's good training on what the law is for public meetings in Oregon. Staff also helped customers set up their new portals in the online payment system. The new credit card provider has cut our expenses on fees by half for the in-house credit card payments. And the accounting clerk attended the Oregon Government Finance Officers Association Conference on a scholarship. I don't know what happened to my little picture there, but anyway. And then last month, again in October, as you probably recall, we decorated the city hall with pink lights for October's With Courage awareness campaign. There was a trunk or treat planning meeting and event, but also the actual trunk or treat event. And then the Christmas tree lighting planning meetings began. It's just a reminder of what McMinnville looked like in October and what we hope downtown Yamhill will look like someday with all the pink trees. But here's the new in Yamhill. And then I think Larson House and maybe one other was the business that lit it up their business. But the goal is to get all the businesses up and down the street to put pink lights in October. Planning, the RFP for the Parks Master Plan was posted to the website, to the League of Oregon Cities and the Oregon Planners Network. It closes December 6th. And we'll be looking at bids for that. And then the Planning Commission updated the lighting ordinance, which can obviously reported on and address the council's concerns that were brought to them. The citizen advisory meetings I reported on already were held. And we'll be adding that additional meeting in the new year for the comp plan review. Then the public meeting tomorrow night and the FEMA floodplain discussions, which we just discussed. And the 2 public hearings on the gas station signs were postponed until December, which can also be reported. City Council, we had a water field trip to Turner Creek. We worked with the new councilor, Kim Kind, on onboarding and have a little bit more to do on that. We discussed options for improving our IT services, which is ongoing, and we're continuing some legal contracts that we did in October. I think we've got a couple more we're still working on. And then the tree lighting with Councilor Jensen in October. And the community engagement, I met with cities of Kaiser, Newburgh, and Mac on various issues. I attended the regional administrators meeting, monthly meeting. The LOC conference was in October. The Water Advisory Committee, Economic Development Committee, and then I was able to participate in the Downtown Association Trunk or Treat for a portion of that. And here's some fun pictures from that event. Our YDA. And our staff.
Oh, yay.
And then upcoming events, tomorrow night's meeting, once again, 6 o'clock to 8 o'clock here. November 28th and 29th, the city hall will be closed for Thanksgiving. And then December 6th is the Christmas tree lighting event. And I don't know what time, do we have to start, gentlemen? 6 o'clock, 6 p.m. I'm sure more will come out on it too. That's it.
Is there anything that council can do to support that event? That community help?
I think we got it pretty well planned out. They're gonna start decorating on the 29th in here. The association, Kara and Jenny are both out of town on the 6th. They will not be here for the tree lighting. So, but now everything's planned out and I think we're ready.
Okay, and we have a tree?
We have a tree that was donated by Brian Roberts.
Donated, or they checked it?
Donated. So, yeah, they should be here on the 2nd.
Wonderful. And are we,
Did they change the date?
Yeah.
Even better.
and are we contracting somebody to decorate it? No?
So what's the plan on decorating? Can you remind us all? Jason's gonna pick up the tree. Public Works is gonna set it up and put the lights on.
Yeah, we could do
Yeah, we purchased lights
Okay.
and then what's the decoration? Is it more than lights?
I believe we have.
Yeah.
Ordinance.
On the plan,
Got some stuff.
Did we ever, sorry, did we ever find out if we can get a lift?
I'm checking with Brent.
Okay.
Talking about the, using the bucket truck
Right.
again. So I was waiting to hear back, it's needed, I see, but
Yeah, just so you know, everybody was 27th will be installed.
Marcy, if you need a backup truck, I may have on the building.
Are the lights electric or battery operated? Okay, just want to make sure.
Oh.
Okay,
We gotta turn the electricity on to the property.
That's what I was talking about, yeah, see, get that contract.
he said,
I've made a call to them.
The
Um,
property,
yeah.
I have a contract, signed, but I haven't got it back from them, so, let's follow.
yeah, he had said that we could do
Okay.
that again, yes.
So
Alright.
is Rocky the backup?
No, he's.
Rocky is the,
Electricity.
yeah,
Okay.
Super priority.
Well, nice to know he's got it there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Came in handy last year.
Yeah. Okay. Anything else, city administrator?
No, I think that's one.
And police department was presented. Chief, do you have anything additional you'd like to share?
Nothing new to add, unless any questions.
No question. Thank you very much. Public Works, anything in addition you'd like to
Yeah.
share?
The only additional piece I'd like to share is the meeting we had with ODOT, all staff, or the majority of staff, Graven, myself and Shelley. And we had AKS or engineers, that was in regards to the RFBs, which are rapid frequency blinking lights for safety for the crosswalk on the north side of town. I say the side of town, the north side of the crosswalk on Highway 47. I thought it was a positive. I mean, I kind of walked away from that actually with some high hopes. I talked to engineering yesterday. They're still waiting to hear back from ODOT with the design, because they're gonna ultimately, we're gonna have to pop out our ADA, bring it, like bubble it out, and if we do that, then we can put in those rapid RFBs. Flashing.
And so the RFBs,
RFB. Flashy light. Flashy light.
are those, that isn't the one that we've got that's just gonna start flashing, it's actually crosswalk flashing light?
Crosswalk
like
flashing.
Aspen.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Okay.
we get it through gas, you
Button.
push button, solar powered.
Is that on our dime or is that ODOT?
We've already purchased them.
We already did?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
My understanding, and I don't want to get too far ahead of myself, but it sounded like ODOT would help us with cost. I mean, I'm not saying they're gonna pay for it all, but they're gonna help us with cost as far as the ADA bump out. Because that's their, from what I understand there again, is they have to have so many completed within 11 years. So we kind of fall into that frame, so.
They'll help us with that.
Yep.
And that's on all four corners that they're gonna,
No,
no,
for now, it's just gonna be on the north end of Highway 47, where we have the crosswalk for the school, where the majority of students cross there.
okay, up the one up by the parking lot-ish,
Yeah,
okay. And they're not asking us to move that to a different location?
there was discussion about that, kind of having a midway zone for a crosswalk, but in the end, my discussions with Brian were I think he saw the traffic that was kind of, you know, and just kind of the need, you know, for pedestrian crossing there, so they changed their minds and they said, yeah, we'll work with you and see how far it goes. I mean, right now, I'm staying on engineering to make sure we get that design and make sure we can get at it.
And is it just the one, or will there be one at 244?
It's just the one for now.
Okay.
We do have an additional pairing, so we'll see if it works out with these two, they'll allow us to bring the other two.
Addition pairing.
For the RFP, the flashing lights.
We
We have
have two sets. Okay.
And they were swaying, not swaying, they were initially indicating that there'd just be one, not even the two, so I'm not sure where that's gonna go. Also, I think it might be important for council to get involved because it was a topic of conversation. And then changing that to a four-way stop. Which that would, in my opinion, be a good idea. Hopefully that when they saw the amount of traffic without it being a four-way stop, that it backs up, it would be a nightmare to do that. But they're having a conversation based upon their settings to make that a four-way stop. I would think that would be useful.
Stop light.
That's not gonna happen.
Oh, when you say four-way stop signs, each direction, and then sort it out, not a green light, red light situation.
No.
Oh,
Four-way stop.
no,
Traffic
That's-
stops all around.
Yeah, the topic of having a traffic control light system. Is, that's been a conversation for over 25 years. That's not even everything that freeways that I'm aware of. Now, based upon their studies. Their studies are saying that they might have a four-way stop.
Would the
That's concern.
full signal be a better option? So, regular.
Traffic control wise would be, but that's not even from based on their studies.
Would that be
An
a,
option.
would that be a better option for traffic flow than probably stop?
Yes. It would be to have a traffic control lines. Everybody stoplight, but that's maybe the topic. If they're going to discuss.
Well, they're
Their
discussing.
studies are
that.
stating a four-way stop. Is their solution. So, if that becomes a reality that they're going to do that, then that's like the council getting involved and saying. That's not. easy.
But they've done a traffic, analysis, haven't they?
So,
And you've given them several.
and then in this meeting, I also provided statistics just that we as a police department respond to, which is pretty consistent with what they have overall. But
And
that doesn't include what county is responding to, or state police, just what we have. For not pedestrian related, but just traffic crashing.
So educate me, why is a traffic control device better than a four-way stop? Why is four-way stop worse? If they're still stopping.
You have to stop.
What's worse?
Because traffic control devices control the traffic flow, not like answering your question, answer they do, but. So that's gonna help the flow of traffic, whereas if you have a four-way stop, then you have to wait for each vehicle in 4 rotations. That would just jam that intersection up. So in other words, traffic control device would be traffic north and south going, traffic east and west going. And
they'd be moving.
yeah, whereas if it's a four-way stop, then you have to wait 4 rotations per vehicle. before you can go. Yeah, and they have pedestrians in the next, and they have the school. When they have mornings and nights.
one during the busy periods of the day, can you get that backup going in both directions up Maple Street?
Yeah.
It would bring all the side streets in,
Yeah.
So it would be a nightmare. I call it rush minute, not rush hour.
Yes.
During rush minute, traffic is backed up normally from Maple all the way up to Pike. And then vice versa, go down past 30. It's on a regular basis, and then the side streets the same thing, but most of the people will, they know the area, so they'll not go up that intersection during those times.
And so why are they now considering four-way stop?
I don't know, that meeting correct, so they brought it up.
Well, I think I asked, has anyone ever asked about this, the conversation literally passed or something, I think that's as far as it went.
I think the positive that we walked away with is towards the end of that conversation was that they're willing to give up design. Like if we design the pop outs, then we can pretty much have leverage over traffic and control safety devices. Well, I say leverage, well, what I mean is that we'd be able to implement the devices that we feel would best suit pedestrian crossing.
And their alternative solutions that they felt was best would be put like crosswalk, basically where the bus stop is.
Yes.
And that being the main source of pedestrian traffic, which it won't for you to show the traffic in the business. And so now you're gonna have pedestrians there mid-block and then have a block later. So that I don't think is an issue.
No,
And with that said, that's a great point, Greg. I mean, even our engineer stepped in and even said, well, you'd have to almost retrain everybody, I mean, that traffic is pretty,
There's a little training process as our children.
Exactly, that, you know, that.
So it's something to
Yeah.
consider.
So, no, I just, kudos to everybody that was here, part of it, and brought facts to the table, and, you know, at first it was kind of seemed like a hard no, and then once they knew that, you know, we had fiscally kind of put dollars into it, and yeah, it changed completely, so we'll see where it goes, and like I said, I'm not letting off the brake on this one, I'm trying to push ahead, so.
Thank you.
Good, yeah.
Thank you very much for that.
And not to add more, but just real quick, I go to training that involve ODOT and it involved the regional managers and conversations there. The main topic was Highway 18 and that being a safety corridor, and then it wasn't. So what ODOT does is they have federally funded money that needs to go to certain places and they do these studies. And that's where they focus that money to go to, understandably. But then they have other things of tasks for people like we want here, that they don't have any money that's funded for that, or a way to get it funded for that, and then if they make any type of discrepancy from that plan, and say, okay, well, yeah, no, we'll do that, and then somebody else finds out, and they're like, well, you did it to the animal, and then it gets them in their situation. So understandably why they have to do what they have to do, but they're willing to work with us, and they always have. It's just that the people we talk to are answering for somebody else that's doing the hard work.
Yeah.
So they're able to at least work with us, so they're very, I think it's productive, meeting from what I understood from them. And moving forward, they're at least listening.
Good. We have their ear. That's half the battle.
And they were here.
Yeah,
And
Yeah,
one in person and two virtually.
that's a,
That was good.
that's a big deal. I know that the city of Carlton's mayor, at the Oregon Mayor's Conference, this last summer, they have a new ODOT has a new director. The new director came and introduced himself at the conference. So Carlton and I nailed him to the corner and filled his ears full of our situation with the highway and dividing our towns and the safety issues that we have and finding alternate solutions for traffic to go, because it's becoming more and more and more of a problem, as you guys are saying. And so the director is aware of our fight, and hopefully when they bring it to him, say, yeah, I remember that. That would be nice. Thank you for pursuing that. That's some of the best news I've heard in quite some time. Thank you. Anything else?
no, that's it.
Okay. Mayor's report. I don't have anything, but I do owe Counselor Askey an apology. We were working together on the newsletter and I dropped my ball.
Yeah, no, that's fine. Because I mean, like, it's just, so I sent, did you see that I sent out?
The one today, I
Yeah,
haven't seen that one
in
yet.
case we wanted to pull it up.
They do?
And like,
Oh, that's.
I made a couple notes here, so I feel like I got like the format and how it looks.
I think
I'm okay with that,
No.
but like, the content part is a challenge, and I don't know that it's doing what
Did we
we were
post
set out
something?
to do originally for this.
Okay,
If you take a look at what we have on there, or if not, it's fine too. Like,
Just
there's a little blurb about the openings on the planning commission, and that's now out of date. Because,
but it gives us an idea of what could go in that spot.
yeah, well, yeah, and so, but then you'd have to like, if we hypothetically.
That's how my day goes.
And like, put it up, then. Or if like it was I don't know. It gets out of date really usually. I guess I'm trying to say like there's a welcome to YAML thing about Shelley in it, and we just did a 6-month review.
I really liked the picture
of-
changes, just it looks more, yeah, no.
Oh yeah, that was Pam's idea. Make it look more like an old timey newspaper.
That is cool.
I liked it better than the orange.
Yeah, it was just more fitting.
Yeah, so, yeah, I mean, that part I am satisfied with, but I just don't know. It's hard to think of things to
Oh,
put there.
that. You also don't, probably can make it just a few pages. It doesn't have to be.
Yeah.
Even, I've seen some cities are just a one page. So that you have less.
But, and then, that's,
If I remember. that
I
also-
think when we first started doing this, I was talking to Angie about it, and I think you mentioned something like, yeah, we were talking about the links that I was putting in there, and like, oh, well, it's already on the website, why do you need to put them in
And-
there? And then I just started thinking like, basically all of this stuff is on the website, why do you need to? Like, I feel like a lot of it is recycled
Yeah.
stuff that people are gonna be going to the website to find this anyways.
Hmm.
I don't know.
I think Pam and Trish had some good ideas on it. That it could simply be. If I'm misstating this, say something, but sort of, these things happened at council.
Isn't that the minutes?
It's kind of the minutes, but I mean, the minutes are, a lot of reading without a synopsis.
You put them into like Chat GPT and say, summarize, just make it easier.
You just want bullet points, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's, okay. But then,
Oh, that's kind of boring.
and if you wait until the minutes are actually approved.
well, you can wait for the minutes to be approved, you can just, say,
Put all that on the newsletter, and just have bullet points for our council.
there you go.
Or just put Shelley's presentation, maybe city administrator's presentation on, for everybody to see there.
That's a good idea.
Well, that's what I had originally, because so we started this however many months ago, and the first version had a lot of Shelley's pictures and stuff, and I took them off
that's
because
just your
they
face
were
everywhere,
now
like-
out of date, like that's that box new anymore over there. And stuff like that, so I don't
Wasn't
know.
the initial rationale for newsletter in the paper handout that?
No,
goes
I thought it was all
to
digital. I feel
Wait.
like part of it was to connect with the
No,
people
it's
that
here.
are on
Okay.
like Facebook and stuff. And so that's the other thing that I wanted to mention, like, we're doing all digital. And it's not that, and then if you're doing paper, that's gonna cost money and stuff. But like, I feel like doing something, what if, like, I just think like getting a couple counselors together and like reserving a table at bingo night at the Larson House. And just going, not even, you don't really have to like, just going out and talking to people, I feel like might be more effective in connecting rather than trying to do it. Something like this, but,
Back to first Friday, just make it bingo night.
well, that's what, yeah, a first Friday, but like just going out somewhere, like, or doing, like, going, a couple counselors go to trunk or treat or something. And,
I know that schools were talking about getting a community calendar with events, like the trunk or treat and the bingo night
and
and
that's all
whatever.
you guys get too.
Well, I try to limit it mainly to the council meetings, the planning commission meetings, that type of stuff. But these are like the community calendar, maybe, rather than just this is a meeting and here's another meeting and here's another meeting. I do add some things, but
Who was talking about that?
was it the school that was emailing
No,
you
it was,
regarding?
the school requested it if we could coordinate, and then I, thought, oh yeah, that's a great idea, and I think I talked to Pam, and that's already on the community.
Oh, yeah, she's got that
Yeah,
covered.
so,
So Pam, what was your vision initially when we got started having communication conversation?
It stemmed from that brief survey that we took that time.
Yeah.
Said, why don't you go to the meetings and this kind of thing? And basically, people don't go to meetings a lot. It was in town, but I don't know. It was, okay, you've given us an agenda. What happened? And that's the gap. So that was their cry out.
So just a meeting summary would be sufficient, you think?
for the minutes.
Yeah, sort of like.
Yeah.
That kind of thing. So it's Maybe self-defense.
I like Shelley's PowerPoints. It's pleasing to the eye. They can zip right through it. Yeah, but that's
That's
not
not
everything that happened at council though. That's what
Yeah.
happened at City Hall within the previous month. That's my report of city staff.
It doesn't include.
How in depth are they really gonna read?
Well, and
But-
Jenny Morrison made the point last time too about how much are we gonna do for them at some point? People need to, you know, engage, read the minutes, come to the meeting and do things. So, and you guys were trying to create something that was a summary from council.
Yeah, and I
Yeah,
kept
one
on getting away
pager.
from that and going towards your stuff and you kept on guiding me back.
Kept reminding you of the council. I'm trying to give you more work. We don't have any more room.
So I don't know, I'm happy to keep, we can throw it up there if you want, I won't say delete the openings but like, so once it, and if we did put this one up, then what do you do? Just wait a couple months and collect things and then put them up and hopefully they're not out of date.
I don't know that that's effective use of
Yeah,
time and energy. I like the summary idea. I like putting Shelley's PowerPoints up there, but maybe adding one additional slide of the summary of last month's. council meeting minutes.
Those are on the videos that are already on the website.
Several pages
Just so
long.
you know, the PowerPoint's already included in the video.
Can you cut from the minutes and
So,
say,
because they're not done yet by that time.
no, you'd have to do it a month later. It would be past information.
I'm
So that would be me reading the minutes.
not volunteering to
and
look that.
summary report.
I feel like I'm kind of siding with Jenny now. I don't think
Yeah,
I.
we're moving away from the idea, which was the council, this is a council communication to the community. So just.
Like, if
summarizing-
if we're strictly talking about like council connecting with the community, I think going to bingo night or something would be most effective in person.
We could do that. We could.
Or
do
try it at
First
least.
Friday's bingo style.
But I also don't want to invade their thing, right?
Yeah.
But like.
Do you know what Canva is?
That's what I made it out on, yeah.
Okay, well, just really condense it, give it a nice background, slap a few things on there and throw it on the website, it's fine. I feel like you're making it too hard.
But what things? Like,
Well, I mean, people look at it for like 25 minutes.
You've got
All
the
you gotta
minutes, just pick and pull from the minutes.
But that's,
but they're out of date.
October's right
it's
there.
better than nothing, and that goes back to the beginning when he was saying, well, I thought this was new reach people that weren't online and.
It's not, it's basically the same thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, go back to what's it for, instead of just creating work, just to check it off.
Would this be something that could be included in the council retreat opportunity? Would they-
Probably, I think it'd be a good opportunity for the new council to discuss, if that's something they wanna do.
That, what do you think? What is your-
Talking about it, waiting until the retreat and then,
narrow
yeah,
it
that-
down?
yeah, that's fine. I'm happy to do whatever,
You put in
as
a
long
lot
as
of
we
work
know what-
already, though.
as long as we know what that is. Supposed to be,
As long as you know
what that is supposed to be.
what,
I'm just kidding. No, the newsletter or
Format.
option or alternative. But yeah, that's fine, getting together at the retreat.
There's
Figure
no
that out,
time
it's
at that
fine.
time, I think,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. Just have some real serious discussion.
And think of some ideas in the meantime.
Okay.
Yep.
As mayor-elect, are you okay with putting that off until you're?
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't sound ready.
Busy on Candy
It's
Crush.
not, it's not defined, clearly defined.
I will say that the city government everywhere, as far as attendance, is not uncommon
Mhm.
for everything that we have here. And the participants anywhere else is not that uncommon as we have here. So something having that in mind to have a topic of conversation or a newsletter about.
Yeah, and
It's
with,
not gonna bring more people here. It's not
No.
a common thing.
And
And
then-
if something happens that tend to bring people here, that's
New
not
houses.
gonna change. it.
Are you gonna like print it out and post it like at the post office? I read stuff on the poster board.
no,
There's barely any room on those anymore.
Digital.
Well,
We
that's the
didn't want
problem,
to,
is
like,
I-
it costs money to print those,
People that
like,
don't do digital.
I get sick of it. I like paper.
You could send it to Starla.
if you provide them paper and printing, then we can print them all.
We have new utility bills. What's on the opposite side of that? And is that something that could be?
It's contracted, printed out of state and they send them out for us. We don't send those bills.
Okay. And we couldn't
We would
ask them to copy something on the back
Oh,
of
I
that?
don't know. Let's answer that question. If they do an extra page in there, if we ask or
I'm
not.
sure they charge us for it, but it's less than postage.
But
It won't be cheap.
No,
Never is.
you can just put a URL key in
Okay,
it.
just a curious question.
Yeah, I'm fine with waiting.
Okay, then that's what we'll do. Will you put it on the agenda for the retreat?
You don't have that scheduled at this time.
No, and I know you're looking for a location.
I'm looking for meetings that as well.
Oh,
Kind of got, meetings coming. A few. Of the three.
okay, cool. And do you have a location
I do
idea?
not yet have it.
Hawaii is my favorite.
Yeah.
Okay, I agree.
So if anyone's willing to, it needs to be offsite and preferably not somebody's home. Because unless the homeowner is willing to host and is not a council member. Because we need everybody engaged and not worried about.
Well, they wouldn't be able to be there either.
Huh?
The homeowner wouldn't be able to be there. They'd have to leave and allow.
They could be there, they just wouldn't be in the meeting part.
I can check.
They could be there to host if they wanted to, provide coffee and danishes and open up their home, they could do that, but not be part of the meeting itself. That would just.
Okay. I will tentatively lay my home on the line for that. If, I don't know if it'd be big enough, but
Yeah, okay.
but I'll make it available.
It'll be a public meeting.
I can check.
Maybe what?
I think it would be a public meeting if you have the whole council there.
It will be a public,
Oh, okay.
but it will be, on the rules of retreat, so. Yeah.
Perfect. Okay, well, that's an option. Anything else from council?
Did we follow up on Brian and then request about Third Street?
yeah, so I sent an email back to him asking exactly where he wants the stop sign. Maybe you can help me with that, let me see if I can find that really fast. He would like to have, it sounds like multiple stop signs on Third Street at, both ends of the park where the loop kind of comes around, sounds like he'd like maybe a stop sign spot, maybe make it a four-way stop on instead. Is that what you want?
There are stop signs
On the
on
cross,
both the east and the west. Loop.
yeah,
In
but he
the,
wants them actually to stop on Third Street as well. I don't have, what's even the process? If you wanted to put in a stop sign, what, how do you go about such a thing?
I mean, to pass the buck, the police department would be doing traffic enforcement, but to answer that question for me, because I can't speak for what Jason would do or the city would do, but what needs to be done, and Jason chime in, is there needs to be a study done to see if it warrants it. And then, to see what the cost would be for the stop signs, you don't have to just get stop signs, you have to get traffic control device, change ahead and do all of that process before it can even come to fruition.
I agree with spot on, the chief's spot on. You have to do a light traffic control study plan.
And who does that study? Do we have to contract that out
Then we
somewhere else?
contract that out.
What do those normally cost?
I mean, you're looking anywhere between 5 to 20.
about 20,000. And then you could end up after the 20,000 with the same situation with Main and Maple, if you made that a four-way stop. Then you just backed up traffic and made all the side streets unusable.
That's ODOT, so.
Sure, yeah, but by putting a stop sign in, for what seems like maybe a great idea, could also cause problems.
Yeah, and then also, I don't know again, but because you have those speed bump humps there,
Mhm.
what is the criteria for that? Do those have to be removed now that you have a stop sign right in the middle of
Right.
where those bump humps are? And so forth.
And that's hence, just to piggyback off that, that's why we took one of those speed bumps out, because the traffic control device is already on the east and west facing side. So that would just lead to chaos there, because that was right at the intersection, four-way. So,
And then legality wise, what, because it's a 20 zone through there. So what the requirements is a 20 zone. Speed limit, but stop signs in place and so forth.
And then I think this other question that we had was, what would be possible if we could crosswalk, mark crosswalk in the park?
I mean,
that would be more in-house, I mean, we can control the cross.
yeah, that's something that we can do.
Yeah. No,
I don't know if there's an issue with pedestrian traffic that I'm aware of, if that is concerned, and that needs to be addressed immediately. But just for, again, from the police perspective, from a traffic control, for crosswalks, there doesn't have to be a marked crosswalk. Right, for there to be a crossing. So when there's a egress, in other words, a sidewalk that comes up, or like the park, where it's right there in the middle,
Mhm.
and then you have an egress on the other side, it doesn't have to be marked that to be a crosswalk area. That makes sense. Or any intersection, a lot of intersections say they don't have marked crosswalks. Those are still pedestrian crossings and the law will apply for them. But if there is a issue, which I have heard, that there's an issue of pedestrian traffic and people not stopping, then that's something that would be a concern to get those and locations specifically.
okay. I can reach back out to them and everybody know where that's going. I'll keep you informed on future emails.
Yeah, but there is a cost to that, but that's something that can be done. And there's legalities that need to apply, that's sure it can be done. But I don't think there need to be a study on, but if there's a concern about it, then it can't hurt to mark it.
Sure. Okay. Thank you.
Is there a question?
Yes, as long as you read.
Yeah, no, that's fine. Yeah,
All right, one last thing. November 21st, public meeting for housing and downtown code updates. That's tomorrow night here at City Hall. November 28th and 29th, City Hall closed for Thanksgiving, both Thursday and Friday. And December 6th, tree lighting ceremony, and the reading of the night before Christmas. Fine, is that about that? But that was the best part.
well, I would have thought so you can, for the next 2 years, you can continue to do it.
No, it's already now.
Oh,
But you'll enjoy it. You'll enjoy that. It's a fun thing to do.
I feel like I'm looking too much like Santa to be telling that story.
Okay, we are, oh, may I get a motion?
Make a motion, we adjourn.
Adjourned.